Most people think life-changing financial decisions require thousands of dollars. In reality, one small decision can quietly redirect your future. Imagine choosing what to do with just $100. Spend it today, and it disappears quickly. Invest it wisely, and it begins working for you. The power of this decision is not in the amount itself, but in the habit it creates. The $100 decision is about direction. Every dollar you control can move toward consumption or toward growth. When money is spent, the story ends. When it is invested, the story begins. This simple difference separates people who struggle financially from those who slowly build wealth over time. At first, $100 may seem insignificant. Many people ignore small amounts because they believe real investing requires large capital. But the truth is that wealth often begins with small, consistent actions. What matters most is starting the habit of investing regularly. This decision also introduces the concept of compounding. When money is invested, it has the potential to grow. That growth then generates additional growth. Over time, even small amounts begin to multiply. Compounding turns consistency into powerful momentum. The $100 decision is not about a single investment. It represents a mindset. When you choose investing instead of spending, you begin training your mind to think like a long-term builder rather than a short-term consumer. Many successful investors began with small amounts. They did not wait for perfect timing or large savings. Instead, they started early and remained consistent. Over years, those early decisions created significant financial strength. Another powerful part of this decision is discipline. Choosing to invest even a small amount requires control over impulse spending. Discipline built through small decisions eventually shapes larger financial habits. The $100 decision also teaches patience. Investments rarely explode overnight. They grow gradually. Learning to appreciate slow progress helps investors remain calm during uncertain periods. Many people underestimate the emotional impact of investing. Once you see your money working for you, your perspective begins to change. You start thinking about opportunities instead of expenses. In the end, the $100 decision is not about the money itself. It is about the habit of choosing growth over consumption. That habit, repeated many times, has the power to transform an ordinary financial path into an extraordinary one. The $100 decision also reveals how priorities shape financial outcomes. When money arrives, it immediately faces competition. Entertainment, small purchases, and everyday expenses try to claim it. Choosing to invest instead requires awareness and intention. This moment of choice quietly determines whether money disappears or continues growing. Many people wait until they feel financially comfortable before they start investing. Unfortunately, comfort rarely arrives on its own. Spending tends to expand with income. The $100 decision teaches a different approach. Invest first and adjust lifestyle afterward. Another lesson behind this decision is consistency. Investing once will not change your life immediately, but repeating the same decision regularly builds powerful momentum. Over months and years, those small investments begin to form a growing financial foundation. The decision also builds confidence. Many beginners feel uncertain about investing because it seems complicated. Starting with a small amount removes much of that pressure. Experience gradually replaces hesitation. Over time, the $100 decision strengthens financial awareness. You begin paying closer attention to how money flows through your life. Small improvements in saving and spending habits appear naturally as your mindset shifts. Another advantage is flexibility. Small investments allow you to learn without taking extreme risks. You can observe market movements, understand volatility, and develop patience while your capital gradually grows. The $100 decision also changes how you view time. Instead of focusing only on today's expenses, you begin thinking about future opportunities. This long-term perspective becomes one of the most valuable tools in wealth building. Many people believe that investing requires complex strategies. In reality, simple and consistent contributions often outperform complicated approaches. The power lies in repetition, not complexity. Another important effect of this decision is momentum. Once investing becomes a routine habit, increasing contributions feels natural. Small beginnings gradually evolve into larger financial commitments. Ultimately, the $100 decision represents the beginning of ownership. Instead of trading money for temporary satisfaction, you begin building assets that can support your future. This shift in thinking quietly transforms your financial direction. The $100 decision also teaches delayed gratification. Choosing to invest means postponing immediate pleasure for future benefit. This simple act strengthens your ability to make smarter choices consistently. Over time, small acts of patience create a mindset that naturally favors growth over consumption. Another aspect is self-discipline. It is easy to spend small amounts without thinking, but deliberately directing even $100 toward investment requires conscious effort. This repeated practice gradually builds financial self-control that applies to larger sums later. The $100 decision also highlights opportunity cost. Every dollar spent on unnecessary items could have been invested. Recognizing this trade-off changes how you evaluate spending. You start asking whether each purchase supports your long-term goals or simply satisfies a fleeting desire. Many people fail to see the cumulative power of small decisions. One $100 investment seems minor, but repeated monthly, it creates a significant sum over years. Small, consistent choices compound not just financially, but also in habit and mindset. Another lesson is accountability. Once you commit to investing $100, you develop responsibility toward your money. You begin to track progress, review performance, and refine decisions. This accountability becomes a cornerstone of long-term financial success. The $100 decision also emphasizes starting immediately. Waiting for a perfect moment often leads to procrastination. Small action now is far more powerful than perfect action later. Momentum starts with the first step, no matter how modest. Another effect is mindset shift. Each small investment reinforces the belief that you can grow your wealth over time. This belief becomes a driver of further action, creating a positive cycle of learning and financial growth. The decision also reduces fear of risk. Beginning with a small, manageable amount allows you to experience gains and losses without significant stress. This exposure builds confidence and prepares you for larger investments in the future. Another benefit is clarity of goals. Deciding to invest $100 forces you to consider what you are working toward, whether it is financial independence, retirement, or a personal project. Defining the purpose behind the investment strengthens commitment. Finally, the $100 decision demonstrates the principle of leverage. Money directed wisely can grow over time through compounding, reinvestment, and market growth. Understanding this principle early creates a foundation for much larger financial decisions in the future. The $100 decision also shows how habits compound like money. Consistently choosing to invest small amounts creates a routine that becomes automatic over time. Habits remove reliance on motivation or willpower, allowing financial progress to continue even when enthusiasm fades. Another key effect is resilience. Not every $100 investment will succeed immediately. Markets fluctuate, mistakes happen, and learning occurs. The small scale reduces risk while building experience, teaching patience and perseverance that pay off in the long term. The $100 decision also highlights the difference between active and passive behavior. Spending money on consumption is passive, it disappears quickly. Investing is active, it directs money toward growth. Learning to act intentionally with small amounts develops discipline for bigger financial choices. Another hidden benefit is understanding financial growth over time. Watching a small investment slowly increase reinforces the power of compounding. This realization changes mindset from short-term gratification to long-term vision, improving future decision-making. The decision also teaches the value of preparation. Before spending or investing, you consider options, compare potential outcomes, and prioritize wisely. These thought processes become second nature, influencing all financial choices beyond the initial $100. Another aspect is accountability to yourself. Committing $100 to an investment requires following through. This accountability strengthens confidence, making it easier to commit larger sums or follow more complex financial strategies in the future. The $100 decision also reduces procrastination. Starting small eliminates excuses like "I don't have enough money to invest." Early action builds momentum and proves that consistent effort, even in small amounts, is far more effective than waiting for perfect conditions. Another effect is the creation of a feedback loop. Small investments allow you to track results, learn from outcomes, and refine strategies. This loop increases financial literacy and improves decision-making over time, making future investments more effective. The decision also develops a mindset of growth. Each choice to invest reinforces the belief that wealth is built through action, not luck. This shift in thinking encourages consistent, long-term behavior that compounds into significant financial success. Finally, the $100 decision demonstrates that wealth building is accessible to anyone. You don't need a high income or a large inheritance. Small, intentional choices repeated over time create financial momentum that grows steadily, proving that the journey starts with a single, deliberate action. The $100 decision also teaches prioritization. When you consciously choose to invest, you evaluate your wants versus needs. This awareness gradually changes spending patterns, allowing more money to flow toward opportunities rather than fleeting pleasures. Small choices create lasting habits. Another effect is learning patience in uncertainty. Markets fluctuate, and returns are not immediate. By starting small, you experience these fluctuations without panic. This builds emotional resilience and prepares you for larger investments when confidence grows. The decision also emphasizes intentionality. Each $100 invested is a deliberate act of planning for the future. This intentional behavior extends beyond money, influencing career, time management, and goal setting, creating a broader mindset of strategic action. Another hidden advantage is avoiding wasteful spending. When you see how one small investment can grow over time, discretionary spending feels less appealing. The psychological shift encourages saving, disciplined choices, and more thoughtful consumption. The $100 decision also builds momentum in financial learning. Managing even a small investment exposes you to concepts like risk, returns, and diversification. Early exposure to these ideas accelerates understanding and confidence for larger investments later. Another benefit is habit reinforcement. By repeating this small investment decision regularly, you train your brain to associate money with growth, not instant gratification. Over time, this mindset naturally guides all financial behavior toward building wealth. The decision also highlights the importance of consistency over size. Even modest amounts, when invested repeatedly, accumulate into substantial wealth. This principle teaches that small, persistent actions often outperform occasional large efforts. Finally, the $100 decision encapsulates the essence of long-term success. Start small, act consistently, learn continuously, and stay patient. These repeated, intentional actions transform ordinary financial behavior into extraordinary outcomes, proving that life-changing choices often begin with a single small step.